It has been well over 10 years since the very first Zootopia film and just about 5 months since its sequel came out last November, so let's talk about it. Hey, what's up guys, Alan here. Welcome to another episode of Thoughts on This, where I speak on my thoughts. And for this episode, I'll be giving my thoughts on the Academy Award winning film Zootopia and its 2025 sequel Zootopia 2, which is in the running for Best Animated Feature. Set in a city where animals, prey, or predator live in peace, Judy Hopps joins the city's police department as its first ever rabbit officer, which is one of the reasons why she faces challenges such as discrimination and prejudice. She then teams up with scheming fox Nick Wilde to solve an ongoing case in the city. Its sequel follows it up by introducing Gary the Snake, who is the primary subject of an investigation on the city's weather wall that holds a hidden secret. The films were directed by Byron Howard alongside Rich Moore in the first film and Jared Bush in its sequel. It features a star-studded cast including Jennifer Goodwin, Jason Bateman, Idris Elba, Jenny Slate, J.K. Simmons, Bonnie Hunt, Tommy Chong, and Shakira. Ke Huy Quan, Fortune famester Andy Samberg, Patrick Warburton, and so much more join its sequel. Both films were positively received and grossed over $1 billion at the box office. The first film took home multiple awards, including Best Animated Feature at the Oscars. Its successor also gained Oscar recognition, being nominated in the same category this year. The film was released on Disney Plus March 11th. Now, what did I think about this film? I didn't really know what I was expecting when I first heard about the film at the time. I was pretty unfamiliar with the plot, other than about a rabbit of chasing her dreams of becoming a cop in the big city, and that was basically it. So I went to it fairly blind, and I did see it in theaters all of those years ago when I was still a freshman in high school, and I remember walking out of that theater mesmerized and wowed. Like, I just went off an insane roller coaster ride. I genuinely adored this film. It was surprising, dramatic, funny, vibrant, heartwarming. It was a masterpiece, and this is one of my favorite Disney movies of the modern era. The story was compelling. It took a simple story of someone chasing their dreams, the typical Disney narrative, and then turns it into this mystery thriller that tackles topics of prejudice and discrimination, which was well integrated into the story. I liked the metaphors that were in this. It made this film so much more intriguing, while also taking me by surprise. Like, I didn't expect a Disney movie, especially one with anthropomorphic animals with clothes on, to dive deep into those topics, but yet it worked. It made this film so much different from other Disney movies, and the level of maturity in this is what truly made it stand out. And I also didn't expect this film to have a few dark scenes and jump scares, which caught me completely off guard, and weirdly, I liked it. I thought it made the film much more mature compared to other Disney films that came before it. Plus, it worked with the crime drama feel of the story and action scenes, which were thrilling and had me on the edge of my seat each time I watched it. And the plot twist was awesome. It was an out-of-sight, shocking moment that left viewers flabbergasted, which is what a plot twist should be, and the build-up to it was suspenseful. That, plus all the other elements, were tied together really well with the plot and kept me invested all throughout. The characters were colorful and likable. Each one had a radiant and distinct personality that added to the fun aesthetic of the film. Judy Hopps was a down-to-earth and easily relatable protagonist. She was determined, dedicated, fearless, and embodies characteristics of a typical Disney heroine, but presented differently. And I love no matter how hard she messed up, she stays true to herself and strives to be better. These qualities is what makes her human and resonate with audiences regardless of age. Nick Wilde was a fascinating character. When you first meet him, he was cool, slick, and you were also kinda wary of him. But as the film progressed, you see his walls come down, then you start to sympathize for him, and you understand why he acts so sly. His strong character development is what made him one of the best developed characters of the entire film. The humor in this was really fun. It helped balance out the mature tone by adding light-hearted components that made the film feel like a buddy comedy. I loved the jokes that were displayed in the film. It was creative and humorous for not just kids, but adults as well. It's that kind of comedy that appeals to all ages. The character interactions also elevated that humor, especially Nick and Judy. The dynamic between them being the good cop, bad cop duo that get along despite their differences was charming. The back and forth banter between these two was consistently entertaining. Seeing their relationship develop more into a great partnership was also a joyride to watch, and it further emphasized the heartwarming component. And Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman did a fantastic job bringing these characters to life. Their voices matched their personalities and they work well together. The cast as a whole was astounding. For a film that was stacked with pretty big names like J.K. Simmons, Bonnie Hunt, Idris Elba, and Shakira of all people, they were all charismatic despite them having different characteristics. They all made the film fun. Shakira's song Try Everything glued the whole film together. I love this song, it was catchy, and it fits with the film's message of taking risks. It was a very universal message and ties with the character's own journey of perseverance and trying new things. Although this film wasn't a musical, the song is one of Disney's best to come out of the 2010s. It's a song that connects with the audience and motivates them to dream big. The animation for me was nothing too special. I felt like it was too similar to other animated films from Disney and Pixar, but the world building was breathtaking and majestic. I love seeing all the different lush environments and unique architects in each section. You just want to pause to take in all the astonishing little details in these areas. It all feels immersive. The references that came with it just added to that immersive experience and made it feel like a big city inhabited by animals. I like how it wasn't so much in your face and it didn't hinder the story. There were fun Easter eggs that were just peppered in throughout the film, and it was fun trying to spot all of them. The film was a lot more charming than I thought. At first glance, I thought it was going to be a silly cartoon movie with talking animals in it, but once you see it, it's a lot more than that. It's a film with strong, complex themes, a well-written story, a message that anybody can resonate with, and the buddy cop mystery genre as the backbone of it all. This is one of those films that is enjoyable for all ages. After a string of mediocre films from Walt Disney Animation Studios the last few years, like Strange World, Wish, Moana 2, I was a little bit more cautiously pessimistic about this film. I thought it was going to be one of those films that aren't as good as the first film, but it turned out to be a pretty solid sequel. I loved every minute of it. It was just as funny, just as vibrant, and just as exciting as the first film. It took everything that was great about it, then fleshed it out to add new components. The story was equally compelling as the first and was also something fresh. I like how it dove deep into the lore and origins of the city. It helped build the suspense and surprise factor that led to the eventual plot twist, which was honestly better and even more shocking than the first film's plot twist. It was chilling, jaw-dropping, and it tricked you by having you think it was going to go one way, but takes a completely unexpected turn. I love how it maintained the first film's themes of prejudice, discrimination, and unity, then reworked them in a way that fits the new elements of this film. It was a good balance of the old and new. The humor in this film was arguably even more funnier than its predecessor. I loved the new jokes. It maintained the same comedic charm while still keeping it fresh to fit the new elements, like the aquatic mammals for example. The scene with the sea lion was smart and brilliantly funny. It's that kind of humor that fits with the aesthetic of the franchise. One thing that the sequel did a great job in was expanding the worlds of Zootopia by exploring different parts that we barely got to see in the last one. I love that Sahara Square and Tundra Town were featured more, as we got to see different parts of those areas that we have never seen before. Having Tundra Town be the major setting helps expand the history and unfold the hidden secret of the city, adding a darker side to the story. I also love that they also showcase new areas that we haven't seen before, like the Marsh Markets, Cliffs of Copenhagen, and the Reptile Ravine. It expands the world building even more. Another thing that the sequel did a great job in was sort of reinvent the relationship between Nick and Judy. Like, it's still the same good cop, bad cop dynamic, but they put a new spin on it by diving deeper into their relationship as co-workers. I like that they were going into the ups and downs of their partnership, where they're not always on the same page and they're different, but they both had their personal reasons. The scene where they own up to their flaws and worries like they're having this impromptu therapy session was adorable and appealing to watch. It makes their dynamic not feel repetitive and very much entertaining as the first. Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman just bounced off of each other so well. The new cast members I found to be endearing. Their enthusiasm made them blend in with the rest of the veteran cast members. Ke Quan did a fantastic job voicing Gary. He was quirky, goofy, and was an easily lovable character. Fortune Feimster was also lovable as the voice of Nibbles, making the film even more hilarious. And adding Patrick Warburton, the literal voice of Kronk, as Mayor Winddancer was just a cherry on top. Palmer was the most well-written character. The film did a great job at convincing you that he's a good guy, only for him to just betray his friend. It made the twist even more shocking. He went from this awkward sweet guy to this psychotic backstabber, and Andy Samberg was so good in bringing out both sides with his performance. David Strathairn also did a good job when voicing Milton. He made the character someone that you just love to hate, and that made him such a great villain. Other standout performances include Quinta Brunson as Dr. Fusby and Danny Trejo as Jesus, and I think it's cool that they got him in this film. It made this film's cast so stacked, which is something I didn't expect. Like, there were so many names in this that I might have lost track of who was actually in it. The amount of stars that were involved in this was insane. We had names like Josh Gad, Ali Carvalho, Brenda Song, all of whom are certified Disney legends. Then you get Macaulay Culkin, Yvette Nicole Brown, Cecily Strong, John Leguizamo, Stephanie Beatrice, and even WWE superstars Roman Reigns and CM Punk. The last two people I expect to see in a movie together, let alone a Disney movie. P.S. I am excited for their match at WrestleMania 42. It's gonna be awesome. I also think it's cool that they brought back majority of the cast from the first film, especially Shakira, who got to sing a new song titled Zoo. And hot take, it's better than Try Everything. Don't get me wrong, I still love the song, it's a great song, but Zoo sets the franchise so much more. First off, it feels more like a Shakira song. This one encompasses the film's themes of unity, celebration, diversity, which is what the entire franchise is basically all about. And this song makes me want to get up and dance. It all fits with the tone of the film. If there is one franchise from Walt Disney Animation Studios that actually makes sense to expand on, it's this one. Because I feel like the first two films have only scratched the surface and there is so much more to explore in terms of introducing even more animals and parts of Zootopia that we haven't seen in either films. I could see this franchise expand to multiple films, and just from that post-credit scene, it would definitely make a lot of sense. Overall, it was a good sequel. It didn't touch the legacy of the first film, but rather elevated its key components. This is one of those sequels that actually did the first film justice. It was consistently entertaining, the world building was outstanding, the story was well crafted, characters were charming, and it's fun for the whole family. And if we end up getting a third film, I'll be happy. Alright, that sums up all of my thoughts, and if you agree or disagree, let me know down in the comments. And if you haven't already subscribed, that would really mean a lot. That's all I have to say, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!